He knows it doesn't matter what's under a hood. The only thing that matters is who's behind the wheel.
When I'm flushing it, I don't stick to this.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Under the Covers, a golf podcast where we deep dive into the most recent PGA Tour winners' bag, talk about their club choices, review specs, really just talking some golf. We're your hosts, Matt. He is our resident scratch golfer and former competitor. We got Kevin, our club enthusiast, and I'm Dominic. I'm a mid to low handicapper just like Kevin, and really just lucky enough to be friends with these boys here. And I'm kind of just along for the ride. But we can just get right into it. I think we got a pretty great pod today. We're going to go over what's in the bag for Jacob Bridgeman. And then we got a little bit of golf drama going on, a little LA golf preview, a little JT Greyson action. And then we're going to preview the upcoming Cognizant Classic at PGA National. And then, of course, our one and dones will kind of deep dive into how we did and give some new bets. So without further ado, Jacob Bridgeman is our winner of the Genesis Invitational at Riviera. It is his first win of his PGA career, which is very exciting, and it's a very fun course to have your first win at. He had a total of first round 66, 64, another 64, and a very scary 72 to finish it off. He had that 6-stroke lead going into the final round with a few guys kind of catching up a little bit, but he held it off with a final score of 18 under.
He chunked a nice little first putt on 18 too.
Oh my goodness. It was, I think he even said in the final interview, he's like, as soon as I got through 10 to 12, he knew he kind of had it, because I guess those are the more scary holes that he has and kind of the more higher scoring. So he was just like, I didn't even feel anything on my tee shots on 16, 17, and 18. Unreal round, great first win, but the real question is, what's under the covers?
Yeah, so for his driver, we've been talking a lot about the LS models the last couple weeks. He's got the QI35 LS from TaylorMade. So their low spin version of last year's model. And he's got a fun little shaft in here. We know that I love a good shaft. And he's got the hazardous small batch smoke green, also known as the Hulk, and the same shaft played by yours truly. So Mr. Kenny Riley at the Gimme Golf Club got me into that a couple of years ago, and I haven't been able to replace it. I've tried a few different ones. That shaft is just unbeatable. I'll go and play with something else. I'll test it out. I'll just be spraying things left and right, and then you pop the old Hulk back in, and it's just dead nuts right in the middle of the fairway every time. So interesting that he's got the LS on his driver, but then when you go to his woods, he's got the TaylorMade QI4D, just the core on his 3-wood and 7-wood. So not the tour model that we covered last week, but interesting. Still QI4D on the new woods. We've heard so much about how great those are.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Not a ton of guys went to the QI35. So it's interesting that he's actually playing the QI35 driver. That wasn't a very popular one on tour, but seems to work for him. So was hitting it all, was melting the golf ball off the tee at Riviera. So
yeah, totally. Scotty skipped right over the QI35, and he went to QI4D and then went back to his QI10. So something he doesn't like about it.
I did hear from a few people, amateur golfers like us, and then a couple club fitters that I was going to, that the biggest difference of the QI 10 and 35 is that there's dots for a simulator. Like, it really wasn't that different. It just got a little face paint, maybe. I don't know. It just didn't seem too much different. I guess pros kind of thought that too, so they just stayed with what they liked.
Big thing to note from last week, plays bonded woods. Can you believe it? We were talking about that last week.
That's huge.
Kind of was doing some research there, and Sometimes they say, I guess, bonded can remove some of the weight out of the fitting hosel and everything, but yeah, it seems like TaylorMade can kind of make what these guys want, right? If you want a bonded hosel, they'll make you a QI4D with a bonded hosel, right? So pretty cool there. But 16.5 and 21 degrees on the 3-wood and the 7-wood. So playing a little bit of a higher launching 3-wood than most. So
Yeah, Dom, you were asking either last week or the week before about like, do you guys try to match their shafts between driver and their woods? And this is like our perfect example of not all the time, because he's got the hazardous green we talked about. His 3-wood is a Project X Denali blue, and then his 7-wood is a graphite design Tour 80 XC8X. So 3 completely different shafts. Project X at least on the driver and 3-wood, but he's going to the graphite design on a 7-wood. And I know you're a big fan of graphite design.
I was gonna say he's copping our bags.
I know.
Yeah, I got my driver and 3-wood with the graphite design.
Yeah, which one do you have again? You've got the. It's not the
believe it's
DI,
the-
is it?
Yeah, so I have the Tour AD HD6 shaft on both driver and 3-wood, which is another. We keep shouting out Kenny. We gotta give him some love because he helped me out with that one. I had a. I'll share my trauma with y'all. So I was flying to St. Louis to hang out with Kevin, and we were gonna play a little bit of golf one of the days, and Delta really screwed the pooch. I had just a
hate to
normal
see
bag.
it. Hate to
I
see
know. I had a soft shell bag. They give you the warning. Totally get it. But I grabbed my bag from the carousel, took it home, or took it to Kevin's. We waited, I think it was like 2 days later is when we actually like got to our bags and were ready to hit the sim. So then I look, my driver shaft was cracked, and that's a death sentence. My 3-wood was completely broken off. And then my putter, I'm going to flash a picture on the screen. It was bent 45 degrees from the hosel. Like it looked like a shuffleboard putter. It was ridiculous.
That was
So
the craziest thing I've ever seen with a putter.
It's the strongest piece of metal on any golf club, and it bent like that. Like, what did they do to my bag? Like, I
Right.
can't even explain it because they either shoved it in or got it stuck in the door. I have no idea.
Right. It's amazing
It's
that
ridiculous.
the shaft of the putter didn't break before the hosel was able to bend like that.
It's unreal, man. So yeah,
the Delta
life-
different.
yeah, dude. Life lesson: if you're traveling with clubs, it seems tedious, but check it right at the carousel, because what they told me, they didn't give me any money back because I checked it later. So if I checked it right away from the carousel, then that it's almost like it's proof that it was their fault. So you can essentially say, y'all did this, I would like compensation. So always check your bag right after. Even if you're in a rush, it's worth it. I promise.
So we mentioned he's got some different shafts. He's also got some different irons. TaylorMade TP UDI 4 iron. Matt may be familiar with that one.
Might be what's in my bag. Yeah, 12-year-old iron. This is actually the 2 iron. This way, sorry. This thing is hooked up to a hazardous shaft. It's an absolute gnome killer. Does not get above 20 feet off the ground, it's great for Scotland. Bandon, would highly recommend. But
TGL.
a really good 4-iron. Yeah, I mean, it is like honestly, I could see why he uses it as a 4-iron. It's super forgiving and it's pretty hot off the face. So
Yeah, I remember back when I first started caddying, that was the year that TaylorMade released these tour preferred clubs, and pretty much everyone at the club, was buying them up, and it was a pretty hot club for the year. But amazing that tour player's still playing them. Moving along, he's got a P770 5-iron, and P7CB 6-through pitching wedge, Project X 6.5 shafts. So he's taken a little sprinkling of each of our bags here so far. Wedges, we've talked about the MG5s before, 50, 54, and 60. So he's got a 4 degree difference between 50 and 54, and then 6 degree difference going from 54 to 60. So interesting setup. Pretty unique bag so far through wedges, and then another piece of equipment that this group has with the Spider Tour. Mr. Dom, I think you may have a Spider. I think you have
Thanks to
this
Matt.
exact model.
Yep, because of the Delta experience. But I got the big boy grip. I got the
You call it Girth Brooks?
where are the bodies? Shout out Tom Segura. So going back to the wedges though, real quick. So that's an interesting setup with the 50, 54, 60. What do y'all play? Like, do you have a preference on your kind of variance in degrees there?
Yeah, I have 50, 54, and 58. I feel like 58 is enough loft that I can really open it up if I want to. But it's, not so much, I feel like I can really like pinch the ball on some shorter chips and get some spin. Yeah, I guess with the better players, they're not hitting a ton of like full wedges, so he probably has a few shots that he really likes and just figured out he likes it with a 60.
Yeah, I have 50, 54, and 58 as well. Feel like in Texas, you don't you can kind of get away with a 58 versus 60. I think the reason why some of the tour guys go to 60 is usually the rough they're playing out is like pretty stout rough, and they kind of just like around the greens they'll open up the face and just hack it out, right? So
And you just got a new wedge, didn't you?
yeah, K grind, Voki K grind. So I'm gonna do some custom grinding, make it my own grind.
Ooh,
Uh,
there you go.
I might call it the MZ grind, but
There
we'll
it
see
is. Because
see
you're
what happens.
playing a was it a 46 degree for
I
your
have
pitching wedge?
I have a pitching wedge essentially, Voki, but it's just a pitching wedge, pretty standard.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm rocking mine's a little different. Mine just shifted down 2 degrees. So I'm 52, 56, 60. That's just because I found my grandpa's old Vokey wedge, and I can show a picture too. It was rusted out. I did the classic, let it soak in Coke, and then you just kind of clean it up so it looks real icy now. And then at the time, I had the TaylorMade Sim Maxes, so the pitching wedge degree was 48. So I kind of had a 4 degree difference going down. But now I think the P790 is maybe a degree off, but it works for me right now. I kind of fill my gaps, but I was just curious what y'all's thoughts were on those wedge uses.
Yeah, and those guys, I mean, they're all playing. It could be they could dial it into like half a degree, right? Just to get
Hmm.
he wants to hit 54, 118 yards. They're gonna figure out how to get it to fly 118 yards, right?
So what's the difference between Morikawa last week? He had I believe it was the X100s. Do you know what the difference of X100 and S400 is for those tour dynamic golds?
I actually
I don't
don't.
really know.
I don't. I mean, it would just be like one level stiffer, going X100 to S400 would be their stiffest stiff, before
Hmm.
you get to extra stiff.
Yeah,
So just
it's like stiff plus, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
just like one step more profile more stiff for Colin. He's got the
Hmm.
Project X 6.5s on his 50 and 54, so he's matching his iron shafts. And those are pretty stout. Your average golfer feels like they're swinging a 2x4 with Project X, rifle 6.5s.
Yeah, a lot of guys step down in stiffness on wedges just because you're usually not swinging it that hard, right? Especially with the
Hmm.
lowest wedge in your bag, you're hitting a lot of half shots, right, and stuff like that. So just not, you're not putting the full, the full body into a 60-degree wedge. So
Hmm. Funny note about Morikawa, that final round. So it's Tiger's event, and he has the Tiger Foundation that he has a lot of grants to that he gives for. I think it was like journalism school or something along those lines. And this sweet woman, she was killing it, and then she gets to him, and then he said Mori Aqua, and then he just like, he does his little, he's messing with his driver. He turns, he's just like, yeah, whatever. He's like, I'm not gonna fix
Yeah.
it. I was like, oh, Colin. Mori Aqua.
Yeah,
Incredible.
that's funny. I've always heard, hopefully he listens to the pod, but also hopefully not, because I've heard he's also like not the most pleasant guy to be around. So maybe someone heard about that afterwards, after that comment. Um, I've heard he's not very nice to service people, but who
I mean, he
knows?
hates
Could
the
be just
media, so
rumors.
it
Yeah,
tracks.
There's always stories about those guys, the guys that tip a lot in the locker room as they leave. Phil was always, for Phil's all his bad stuff. He was a good tipper supposedly in the locker room. So.
We love a good lefty, don't we, Kev?
yeah, we love a good tip too.
So Jacob's playing the TaylorMade TP5X, like we've been talking about. He's a TaylorMade staffer through and through.
Yeah.
Is there any tidbits on the ball choice for these guys? Like why TP5X is good for him?
So TB5X would be, TaylorMade has to be different, and they put the X for their Pro V1 equivalent, where the non-X would be like the Pro V1 X. So they have to make it confusing. Everyone else has their, standard model, Chrome Tour or, Pro V1,
P90
basic, and then, yes. And then
Yes.
TaylorMade had to
Dude,
flip
that
it.
one, you can see my brain working there. I was like, wait.
Were you thinking of your P790s when he said it?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, there is an X. No, there's not.
Rory made headlines switching to the X, TP5X, right? I think that was last year before he won the
Yeah.
Masters.
That was where he was caught on the hot mics, saying that he was playing the ball that's off the shelf during it was the TGL match. When we were discussing the Bridgestone ball with the Nike logo on it for Tiger, and the tour guys have access to all sorts of different things that the marketing guys get their hands on. But who knows? Maybe Rory's playing what we could play.
So LA Golf. We should talk about Bryson a little bit. Huge splash in the golf world going on. So Bryson, as we know, has been a LA Golf fiend in the last few years. They've been working pretty closely with him to 3D print some irons and working really closely. And then he decided to go to LA Golf and make him an offer that they can refuse. It was a horrible offer. He wanted to go from 2% and then have 51% to be majority owner, and it just didn't work out the way he wanted. Because I've seen some rumblings where any brand he works with, he kind of burns a bridge, and just doesn't really. I don't know if he doesn't treat them well or he kind of makes weird demands. But LA Golf as a whole, they're rumored to be going to a DTC brand only model, which is a direct to consumer. So kind of like an e-commerce page. I don't think they'd be going into stores like a Golf Galaxy. It's strictly online, right?
Yeah, similar to PXG, right? PXG you can only buy you don't go walk into a PGA Tour Superstore and see PXG clubs because they're
exactly
right. Yeah.
Isn't Tacoma also like that?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So THP Golf, I don't really know how credible this source is, but they essentially were saying that apparently, this is a Twitter page, so who knows how real it is, but apparently there's some layoffs that could be happening at LA Golf because they're switching to this model, so I guess they don't need the design team or they just don't need more employees. So we'll have to kind of monitor that and see how things go there. Bryson, again, all rumors, but what he plans to do potentially, he used to, whenever he started and whenever he made those same shaft length irons where they're all the six iron length, that was with Edel or Edel. I'm not sure how that's pronounced.
Shout out Austin, Texas.
It is. So
Yeah.
the designer there is one of his buddies, and so they kind of worked really closely going into the tour. So there's rumors that he could be moving with them and branching off to make his own brand. Because that, like I said, that's where he started, and then he also used their putter for a little bit. But I think it was almost pretty soon after he got to the tour he switched, and now he's obviously using that arm lock putter.
Got the sick face on it. Does Matt have one? Or do you have an Adele?
Back in my competition days,
Ooh.
my guy David Adele made me this putter. Can you believe that?
Seriously?
Really?
Yeah, played in Texas State Open. It was a kind of like a lower time tour event, like a mini tour event essentially. Qualified round of my life, and then basically kind of was like looking for guys to like. And he was like, "Hey, do you want?" And he didn't realize I was an amateur at the time, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll take a putter." And I went down to Austin, made me this putter.
That's incredible.
Let me see.
Not being
Let me
used.
see that up close.
Put a little lead tape in it and everything, but yeah, have a custom David Adele putter. Pretty old series, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. They did some cool stuff back in the day.
That's one of the toe up models, right?
That's right. Yeah, balances toe up.
Balances your heel up, huh?
Toe up. So technically it's zero torque. Oh, is that a joke? Get out of here.
On the back of that, is that similar to the Kelly & Co. Where are those adjustable, or are those just like cosmetic?
Those aren't weight.
Holes?
No, those are just drill holes. So that's just
very cool.
totally to remove weight. The Adele was one of the original like low torque designers, and I absolutely love their putters. They are like a company who doesn't love lefties though, so I haven't had a great chance to like try very many of them.
I didn't hear about that.
But yeah, David Adele has a lot of sweet. It's David, right?
Yeah.
He has a lot of sweet videos online, like of teaching all the ins and outs of putters, and like what I was mentioning last week about dominant eye and alignment lines and ball position. Everything when it comes to like making your putting stroke. He's got a lot of cool stuff out there.
Yeah.
That's sick that you've got one straight from the man
I know,
himself.
Man. I remember the coolest part was I got to pick out the chunk of metal. So I was walking through and he's like, "Hey, what?" And it was like this is your chunk of metal that we're gonna make your putter out of. And then I got fit for it and everything, and he was like, "Okay, this is the whole thing." And then 2 weeks later, just received a putter at my house. It was nuts.
So sick.
It was crazy back in the day.
I'm so jealous. That is amazing. And you stopped playing with it?
Yeah, I mean, it's good, and I actually played with it for a long time. It's almost like this. I don't know. Sweet spot's a little small. Went to the mallet. As everybody's kind of transitioning to.
I need to add a little tidbit about Matt, because incredible golfer, head case. He told me specifically. He told me. I hope you can remember. I was talking about. I noticed your putter grip, and it was the double interlock, right? Which you don't do anymore.
Yeah.
But I did. I started to do it, and that's what I do now. And whenever I was learning from you, you told me, and I quote, "You really only want to go through 3 putter changes in your life. You don't want too many." And I think since you said that, you've had 6 or 7.
No.
Yeah.
There's probably been a year that I've had 6 or 7 in 1 year.
Yeah, dude. It's so
I've
funny.
sworn to one putter for the rest of my life.
What do you have now? The Scotty?
Scotty, it's like a fastback 2018. Yeah, just it's one of the ones with the stainless steel insert that they were doing for a while. I like that stainless steel feel. So
what does that do?
I actually don't even know. Kevin probably knows better than I do, honestly. I just like the feel of it.
Yeah. Feel and sound.
Yeah.
You want to take the JT Greyson stuff?
Yeah, I'm a pretty big clothing guy. Love a good Q-zip, all the good stuff. But JT last night at TGL, TGL still stinks, but that's another podcast we can do.
I love TGL. I think it's sweet.
Just stupid golf.
As someone who spends most of his time in a TrackMan, I love Sims.
Purist only. Yeah, so he was the face of Greyson for years and years after he had that little run-in with the hot mic when he got dropped from Polo Ralph Lauren. Then he went to Greyson. He was the guy that they said, hey, you know what? We're going to put you in joggers at the Masters, right? Just look like an absolute imbecile, right? But
The Grand Horvat.
crazy. Yeah, the Grand Horvat. But yeah, so Greyson has completely removed him from the website. He's removed all links to Greyson from like his bios and stuff. He was wearing Holderness and Bourne at TGL last night. But rumors are that he might go to like a free agent model, kind of like Tommy Fleetwood, which would be cool. You kind of get to see some of his like personal style in there, which I like. I'm starting to like to see that more and more, right? Like these guys, like Rory, like Rory would never wear some of the stupid shit that Nike puts on him, like in a real day-to-day atmosphere. Like I kind of like to see like what these guys' true style is, and not just like, all right, what are we going to put up front at PGA Tour Superstore to have, you know, Johnny whatever go buy for $95, right? That costs $5 to make and wherever. I'm kind of liking it. So hopefully he does the Tommy thing. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed seeing Tommy wear the like course gear. That's been pretty fun to watch.
Oh yeah, the Pebble hat was the announcers were loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that the players get quite the discount in the pro shop, and then none of them ever like utilize it. But I guess Tommy's doing that with all the money he's got. He's using his discount.
I love that.
But
Support the local course. You know, they need help.
yeah,
Yeah, Riv needs a lot of help.
Yeah.
my favorite pair of pants that I own are Greyson. They are so freaking comfortable.
Oh really?
They're unfortunately too expensive for me to get a second pair, but I wear the shit out of this one pair.
They make good stuff. So, I mean, maybe he'll be on Horace and Bourne, but yeah, new free agent in the world. I think all of us, we'd like to see more of that.
Mm-hmm. I'm really loving Tony Finau's like the Jordan collab. That's been pretty fun because they're pushing the envelope a little bit. Not as much as Malbin and like Jason Day. But yeah, they're introducing a little more style and then letting Tony Finau dance it up wherever he
And
wants.
now Anthony Kim, AK, signed with Malbon officially. Yeah.
Did not know that. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but it's weird because he has to wear the Under Armour stuff from the Quattro Aces, as I call them.
The Quattro
But
Aces. What a pickup by DJ, by the way.
yeah,
Unreal.
But so yeah, it's weird because he'll be wearing like 4 Aces gear when he plays golf, which is Under Armour, and then he is sponsored by Malbon. I don't really know how that's gonna work, but I mean,
they can use him in social media posts, and
Interesting.
yeah,
away you go.
yeah,
Because I guess he's not really. I mean, there's 8 live events a year, right?
Yeah. Since
And-
nobody watches Live, and he's more of an internet star, anyways, it probably works. out.
And he, I think, because I was listening to the path to get there, and he had some pretty sweet rounds to get to the qualifier because he was playing pretty bad. Went through there's Live Q School, which I learned recently, and then had some pretty killer rounds to get. I think he was 3rd in that last tournament to get that invite able to go to Live. So maybe he's playing more, but Live you don't really play much. So maybe he's doing a lot of internet stuff, like you said.
On the other Live news, they just put in a patent for OKGC, which they think Smash is going to rebrand to because Taylor Gooch is from Oklahoma. So I think they're going to be Oklahoma Golf Club.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Hey, why
Also
not?
weird to be lining up with Taylor Gooch.
Yeah, that's,
He's the one that said that something about like needing the best players in the events, right?
Yeah, I mean, Rory didn't technically win the Masters because Taylor Gooch wasn't in the field. So.
Yeah. What a guy.
I have a couple more things to note of this past week before we get into a course preview. Tiger looked absolutely yoked.
Yeah.
Unreal. He's killing it. A fun fact that I heard on the broadcast was, so this is the 100th year at Riviera. We had a first time winner for the 100th year, which is very fun. Tiger has never won at Riviera. He's 0 for 11, which is the most losses at a single course for him.
None of the big guys won at Riv.
There's a lot of first time winners there.
Yeah. I don't think Jack ever won. Quote, check me on that. But yeah, Tiger never won. I don't think Phil ever pulled it off there. It's always been a weird golf course.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up. But like I said last week, Scotty did it again. He just, like, the best thing to possibly happen to him was that Thursday gets rained out and pushed to Friday. And then he goes 2 birdies on Friday in the first round. And then for the first 7 holes, and then played 18 more. What do you go? 500 that round? Something like that?
Something like that to make the cut.
Ridiculous. Yeah, just unreal. And then eventually, I think he finished, was like T10, I believe.
He definitely, his top 10 streak ended. I think he was T11 or T12.
Oh, okay.
Something right outside, yeah.
Just, I don't know what is happening on Thursday. Like, there's some mental block there. Obviously, he's going to get through it, and we hope he gets through it. But it's very interesting. It's only Thursday.
You said he stinks last week? Is that?
I did say he stinks. He stinks on Thursday. It's rude.
Yeah, isn't Scotty our current cuts made active streak? Because Xander Schauffele, didn't he lose his streak?
The X lost his streak.
X.
Yeah. Did you know his full name is Alexander?
Really?
I think that's weird.
I did not know that.
Who uses the back half of their name?
Xander, Blazer, Laser.
We had some we had some bitching about hole number 10 this week. Like, literally,
Really?
These guys get paid millions and millions of dollars, and when one hole is a tiny bit unfair, they freak out, right? Colin Morikawa, Matt Fitzpatrick, these holes so unfair. It's like, you guys are playing for $10 million. Like,
Yeah, you can survive.
it's fine.
What was Colin saying about it?
It's a small green in the front bunker, right? Is that what the complaint was?
Basically, the green is tilted so far away from you and it's so tiny. If you miss right at all in front of the green where it's tilted away from you, you're basically in a chip. And if you don't hit the perfect chip, it goes into the back bunker. And then you have to hit the back bunker shot, and that's a tough bunker shot back up the hill, right? And so you can't, but the problem is the perfect chip, if you leave it short, you're in the front bunker, and then that front bunker, you'll hit the bunker shot and hit it in the back bunker. It's like an automatic double. It's just like, but these guys can't handle, like, I mean, a lot of them are pretty good. And again, it's probably just a couple % of them. But again, like, I think a little bit of just like, they're playing for millions and millions of dollars, and they can't handle like one tough hole that is like a good par, right? It's a good par.
Mm-hmm. A well-earned par. And it's like, the other thing too is everyone, like, they're complaining about the rollbacks. And it's like, do you want a different golf ball or do you want harder holes? Like, you can't have everything just go perfectly for you.
Right.
The quick point, and I know there's a lot of discussion already, so it's kind of beating a dead horse, but like the featured groups on ESPN is definitely a little frustrating, where like I think it should be interchangeable. So Scotty and Spieth, they actually did play a little bit well, but like they should be able to change it to like the top 5 guys, like having even just one of those switches, like keep Scotty or keep Jordan Spieth because everyone wants to watch them because it's fun to watch them. But like maybe change one of them to like a top 5 guy.
Yeah, I think the Masters app like really ruined watching golf with the general coverage, because you can see every single shot from every single player all tournament and for free in the app. Like, nowhere else does that exist. And it seems to us, like us little minions just watching, like that it should be so easy. They've got the cameras, like just open up a live stream like at the tee box, let us watch there, open up a live stream at the green, like let us click around. But no, like you're stuck like watching a bunch of schmucks you don't care about, when the guy you actually want to see, has already finished his round by the time the national broadcast starts.
The best part of TV broadcast, and they're going back to NBC this week for the Florida Swing, is when NBC, you finish up the interview on the green, congrats on winning, great job, and then it cuts to like Law and Order SVU, and there's like a dead hooker on the ground.
You're just like, what am I watching?
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. The other switch that happens is I mooch one of my buddy's Fubo accounts. And when Fubo used to get that morning coverage, it would switch at 11:30. It would switch to LPGA. And like whenever I'm working, I'm like watching, and I'm like, oh, when is Minwoo Lee get to the top of the leaderboard? I was like, oh, that's his sister. Never mind. I don't know where I am. let me find the men's. Let me find the men's. No, I have been telling Bree where like if and I think Matt told me this before, where if you're trying to emulate anybody's swing, you watch LPGA because like they're so technical and they just rip the ball. Yeah. It's insane. I actually don't know. Are there tee boxes? Like, where are their tee boxes any different?
Oh yeah, they're playing shorter for sure.
Yeah, but like they're probably are they still farther than where we play normally, like amateurs?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think Nelly Corda in some YouTube video, like everyone was like, "Oh, are you playing the red tees?" She's like, "No, I'm playing with y'all." Yeah, and then she waxed them.
My course used to have an LPGA Tour event. I can't remember where they played though. They definitely didn't play the red. I mean, they played nearly the tips. I wouldn't say they played the tips on every hole, but majority of the holes they're playing pretty far back.
Wow, interesting. So the HSBC Women's World Championship is going on right now in Singapore, and the yardage is 6,800 yards. So that's still pretty long for your average golfer. That's far too long for them. Plenty of very talented males would struggle on that length too.
So Matt, let's hear a preview of this upcoming tournament. We got the Cognizant Classic at PGA National.
Yeah, Cognizant Classic, aka or used to be called the Honda Classic, back in the good old days. At PGA National, I believe it's a Jack Nicklaus course, or Jack Nicklaus and somebody else. I can't remember. But really, what's famous about it, right? And these are quick hits. So, known for the bear trap, holes 15, 16, and 17. 3 very tough holes. I believe par 3, par 4, par 3. Lots of water in play, so lots of lost balls.
So much water.
So much for every hole. Defending champ Joe Highsmith. What is he known for? He closes his eyes when he putts. Just
so weird.
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of love it though. Because isn't it really just on like, it's like shorter putts, big putts, or is it all of his putts he closes his eyes?
I don't know if it's all of them, but I know he said to make. I think the putt that he made to win, he was like that. I had my eyes closed.
That's insane. I mean, they have that motion. Like sometimes when I look down, I'll bring it back and I'm like, ooh, I'm out of line, and I try to fix it mid swing. So I might even benefit from that actually.
Yeah, we've all done that.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest notable in the field. This field used to be a huge event. It used to be a big tournament. It's local for a ton of the guys, right? A ton of the guys live in the area. But with all the big tournaments in California now, this one kind of has been, put very low. But notable, Brooks Koepka's in the field. So Brooks Koepka's back. If you remember, he can't play any of the signature events, or isn't qualified for the signature events. So didn't play Genesis, didn't play Pebble. But he is back.
Is that all for? It's for all of 2026, right? So 27.
Well, his world ranking's not high enough. I don't think he could. Right, in theory, if he goes out and wins one of these, he'll get in the Sickies after.
Oh, so that wasn't part of his the entry program. It's just because his world ranking is down.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, that's pretty much the high points of the Cognizant Classic.
Yeah, I attended this tournament once when it was the Honda Classic with the Dayton boys, and I think that was the first time I ever discovered what a Corona seltzer was.
Ooh.
It was, what, 3 weeks before the COVID lockdowns. We were having our first annual Dayton Tee It High drop something else trip, and we went to the tournament, watched some guys, had some Celsius, and then went on with our golf trip. It was a good time, but man, there's so much water there. It is just unreal. Isn't the PGA Hall of Fame isn't that at PGA National, or is that really close?
And I think it's really close. If you remember that stupid commercial with Gary Player where he was like,
Yeah.
"And come see our best courses."
Yeah. We went over to there's like a little 2 club course at the Hall of Fame. That's sweet. We may have snuck in some beverages and we're having a grand old time.
Nice.
I think the thing that everybody's upset about is they are overseeding this golf course now, so it's kind of tamed down. It used to be a lot harder when it was Bermuda, right? Super grainy. Pros don't really love Bermuda, but they overseed it with rye. So yes, it looks really nice on TV. It's beautiful on TV to see overseeded golf courses, but it makes it definitely easier to play, a lot softer and stuff like that. So a little bit of the teeth of the bear been taken out, if you will.
So when you say harder, you mean harder as in difficult, but also it's more like you said, it's not soft. So
right, yeah, it can play firmer with Bermuda, but yeah, in general, it'll be an easier golf course. So you're gonna probably see a few low scores, especially if it's not very windy.
all right, one and done time. Last week we introduced a new betting game, however you want to call it. Essentially, you choose a winner each week. Whenever you choose that player, you cannot choose them again for the rest of the season. What we decided, I think I might have explained it incorrectly last week, but to make it easier, whatever placement that player gets, you add up that placement each week. Whoever has the least amount of points wins, just like we're playing in golf. So this past week, Matt, he went with Adam Scott.
The Riviera Master.
The Riviera Master. He went 9 under, 10 under to tie the course record, and then finished fourth place, lone fourth place. I went with Tommy Fleetwood. Felt like he was been playing well. Ended up getting top 10, which is nice. Finished at T7. Absolutely dunked one on Sunday, and it was very fun with the baggy pants. And then so Kevin went with his lefty sweetheart Bobby McIntyre, and he did well. I think top 20 is nothing to sneeze at. I think it's a great score. Are you going lefty again this week?
No, I'm not going lefty again, but I'm going to go for someone who's got a history here, someone who's gotten screwed out of this tournament before. Very handsome. Some people say he looks like a member of someone on this podcast. We're going Shane Lowry.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good pick. It's a good pick.
I like that. The old doppelganger. Not much anymore because I grew my hair out. Matt, did I tell you about when I was in Cali? I was waiting at the halfway house. It's one of those where like 3 different holes kind of connect while you're waiting for a drink. And this guy comes up. I've been getting told I look like Shane Lowry by my family. He's on TV. I have a hat on. Looks super similar. This guy comes over and he's like, "Hey, you kind of look like a golfer." And I was like, "Yeah, I think I've gotten that a couple times." He's like, "Oh, what is his name?" I kind of let him think about it. Like, I mean, some people have said Shane Lowry. He's like, "Nah, not him." And he kind of pauses and then he smiles and he goes, "It's Beef." And then at the time, I didn't know who that is. And he walks away very fast. I thought that was weird. Very fast. And I look at my phone. I turn. I was like, what the hell, man?
Dom, I'm a little worried about your pick because you can't pick Tommy for any of the majors this year. And he's like a major player.
That is true.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking last week where I'm like, do I want to save him or just kind of go with someone you know is going to be well.
I mean, at least he got a top 10, so you did well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of a tough one this week too, because
Real quick for majors, should we have those count for double? So if you finish, eighth, that's 16 points.
ooh, yeah, okay,
yeah,
I'm down
like
with that.
we're making up
That'd be
rules
cool.
as we go here on Under the Cover podcast. So
Where the rules are made up and the points don't matter.
that's right.
Yeah.
I think
But the
this
tattoos
week,
are forever.
I think this week this might be more of a gamble, and it also might be because our boy was dressed to the nines like he used to back in his college days. I think I'm going with Ricky Fowler this week.
Ricky.
The Oklahoma State boy. He's done well in previous, back when it was called the Honda Classic.
Yeah. Didn't he win this before?
I'm pretty sure he did, but I could be very wrong. I've been wrong a lot today. But yeah, I mean, I think he's been playing well. He pops up on the screen every once in a while. It's definitely more of a risky play, but I have faith in our boy.
All right, I'm going way in the archives this week.
Side note, Ricky won in 2017.
Oh, okay, it's quite a while ago.
All right, I'm going way in the archives this week. Somebody you wouldn't know played high school golf with this guy way back in the day. Yeah, Chandler Phillips, country bumpkin. If you've ever known anybody, used to show up to high school golf tournaments in boots and jeans, and he'd go out and shoot 68 like nobody's business.
That's incredible.
The guy's an animal. But pops up on leaderboards every once in a while. So you know what? Screw it. Chandler Phillips, one and done, winner this week.
I love it, man. Okay, let's see. I'm making sure Ricky Fowler's actually in the field.
Yeah, looking up the Cognizant Classic from last year, guess who finished in second?
Shane Lowry.
No, Jacob Bridgeman.
No way.
Yeah,
Whoa.
look at that. And
I kind of love that.
Ricky was T18.
Maybe I should switch to Bridgman. I was kind of laughing that none of us even considered picking Bridgman. He's been in the running the last 3 tournaments, and like that Pebble situation was tough, and he ended up with a bogey there, which is crazy. But like, he should be who we're picking.
I was between, Blades Brown in the field. Just thinking about Blades Brown.
Strictly for the name.
Yeah, for
Something we didn't mention during the What's in the Bag. I think the TaylorMade Spider has won 5 of 7 tournaments so far this year. It is
and
very, very hot.
even TaylorMade staffers are having a hot year, just in general. So
So their club prices are going to skyrocket. So that's fun.
And another thing with this tournament, Golf Digest had an article about that the bear trap is overrated. Here's like a ranking of the hardest holes of 2025, and actually number 6 was the hardest hole of this golf course. The bear trap is famous for 15, 16, 17. 15 was the 163rd hardest hole of the season, and 16 was 261st, and 17 isn't even in the ranking.
Wow.
It's not in the top 300, so somewhere further down the list. But this so-called bear trap that's supposed to be really tough is apparently like just average.
That's actually crazy. So I'm assuming it's based on how they score on those holes.
Exactly. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it in relation to par though? Because since they're par threes, it's lower. Okay.
Yeah. So number 6 was the 52nd hardest hole of the season, which pretty interesting. We'll have to keep our eye on that one.
Do you have the hardest hole on the PGA Tour
I don't.
on hand?
Find it.
I bet you it's something like. Oh man, I feel like if I get close to this, it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, let's get a guess. If you can we do a live bet? If you get the course right, Dom and I will both slam a beer on camera.
Deal.
The hardest hole
And
on the PGA Tour for 2025.
yeah. And I'll give you 3 tries.
3 tries for the course. Okay.
Kevin wants us to chug a beer.
Oh gosh. Let me think.
So, breaking news. I'm an idiot. Ricky Fowler decided to skip this tournament. So that's fun. That's 2 weeks in a row where we almost, because you didn't even know if Adam Scott was playing last week. But
Right.
so I need a change. So instead of Ricky, I'm gonna go with Joel Damon. He's not gonna win.
Wow.
He is not
Okay.
gonna win, but he'll be at least. I think he's getting top 20.
Okay.
Wow.
Ooh, Jacob Bridgeman has withdrawn from this
Yeah,
tournament.
he WD'd after he won at Genesis.
How funny would that be if I picked him and then you told me that?
You win once and then too big for the Cognizant Classic. What the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
jeez. Not a man of the people, I guess.
All right, here we go. So for 2025 season, this one is interesting. 4 of the top 6 were from the same course. Hardest hole on the PGA Tour in 2025, scoring average was 0.52 shots over par.
Okay. Bay Hill.
No.
Okay. What's the Jack Nicklaus tournament? Muirfield Village.
No, good guess, but no. Muirfield's hardest was the 22nd.
I'm just trying to think of hard. I'm going in the archives. TPC San Antonio. I believe it.
Not quite. Oakmont Country Club, hole number 9. It's the hardest.
Oh, okay.
Dang it!
Yeah,
I was gonna throw in a guess.
All right.
Easy to say after the fact.
Yeah.
All right, so you have to down your whiskey.
There we go. Bonus point. Can you get either one? So let me rewind a little bit. So Oakmont has, from the 2025 season, the hardest first, second, fifth, and sixth hole. Can you guess either of number 3 or number 4? They're 2 different courses.
Number 3 or number 4, and those are not at majors, or are they at
Bay
majors?
Hill.
Not majors. You have already mentioned one of them, but
Bay
I don't
Hill.
think it's the one that you're thinking.
Riviera.
No.
TPC San Antonio.
No.
Horses.
North and
Torrey Pines.
south.
Torrey Pines.
Yeah. Torrey
Oh,
Pines
okay.
North, number
Oh, I don't know the
2.
North Course.
Number
I don't know.
2. I don't know the North Course at all. I've only played the South.
The
Number
South
2, 4.69 shots over par in 2025.
And then the other one is from the South Course?
No, Port Royal Golf Course is the 3rd hardest of the season.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
So you don't get the big prize or the bonus points.
Okay, I will play next week. I don't know the hardest holes on the PGA Tour, but it's
Yeah.
good for me to study.
We should do. I like stuff like that. We should do like trivia for like slamming a beer or something like every week.
Who won the 2018 Chubb Classic?
There we go. Like, pardon my take does the lottery ball, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I feel like just dumb
Maybe-
stuff people could listen to and enjoy.
If we ever make it, the first business trip we're doing is to the Chubb Classic.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I think that'll be all for today. Follow us on our socials. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, throwing out different clips. Matt has been getting really good at stamping. Ooh, okay. He's getting really good
Shout
at
out Ripper
stamping
GC.
these days. We love Ripper GC, 4 Aces, Quattro, Tobacco Road. We all got the logos on because we're really cool. Follow us, Under the Covers Golf, on TikTok and Instagram. Under the Covers G on Twitter because the name is too long.